it's just that the waylay.
Okay, we got Nongshim on attack, Talon on defense.
They don't necessarily need to, and he does. I mean, to be fair, he does.
That's kind of
nuts. Let's be real.
It's
the
true.
pistol win
Black,
diff.
this is Komodo, and this is Nongshim versus Talon right on towards
They had
Haven, where
16
Nongshim starts out on the attack.
16 out of 22
Recon?
pistols was that?
Where's that going?
24
At least a little bit more
pistols.
information outside A long, but towards the back of B site. Took a while to get there. Nongshim poking just somewhat, but then to hover around the edge of this dark cover. A bit of a trade going through.
Cheeky.
Okay, a little bit crazy at the moment. Nongshim go for the fast B tap, wait for the reaction. Again, this comp in terms of the ISO comp does struggle a little bit with the B stuff.
Is low, but does still have kind of the double tap shield.
And then it got wild.
Boys though, with the crunch, trying to push his way up mid.
There was timing though. If Ivy did choose to take the duel against Primi, break the shield, get the shot, it would be a 1 versus 1. But he hasn't
The
seen
decision
where
to
Jit Boys
dodge
was
the
playing
drone
whatsoever
and go
yet,
into
so
the
it
smoke
really just does
was
come down to a little bit of luck for
incredibly
Ivy.
bold, especially as it just
And what
revealed that
corners
the
he
smoke
kind
was
of just
empty
wants to disregard
and then
here.
chilled in the smoke for a little bit.
Needs to bunch up together. Ivy going in from
Oh,
peaks.
whoa!
What?
What the hell? How did no one hit a shot on him?
Goes back and forth and even takes that
Oh
with the
my
wall bang.
god!
Mate, I just
changed-
got Icebox vibes from him again.
He
Playing
changed
around yellow, where he's done
target
kind of
midway
the
through.
Same thing on the
I feel like the
pistol
crouch
round
saved
when
him
he's
as
come out
well.
with the 4K, right? Again, just another. Well, like I think that's a well-orchestrated idea from Talon. Don't get me wrong, it's a 2 versus 1.
it's
You're
non-stop
playing
crouching, it's
together,
hard to hit.
double-peeking it out, but Primi, I mean, he wasn't even the first intended target. He's just missed his shots there.
Hey, they
that's
both did.
also just incredible.
I'm telling you, the
mechanical
crouch
skill coming
saved
out
him.
From the player who has 4 frags already on the board from Nongshim. At the same time,
Okay,
though,
easy go
Talon
at cleaning it up
not
instead of
backing down.
buying,
We've got Kilowatt
instead of having 2 ghosts.
dancing with
They
danger
decided to
around the edge
buy
of this dark cover.
Yep,
Marshall.
gotta be careful if you're gonna run in
And this is
towards
something
two
that
duelists
Fnatic
and
used
a
to do
little
as
bit of
well.
Crossfire, and you only have the Marshall.
Oops. Okay.
But if you do
Dude, it shoots so
it
fast.
just like that, yeah, not too bad.
So at least able to regain some control, Nongshim. I mean, the entire game plan for Talon, especially with the double duelist, is to continue to find more.
I think the biggest thing for Talon at the moment.
Okay, every single time at the
It's
moment
good
we're seeing
ideas,
instant reactions
right?
from
Something
Talon.
that
This makes a lot of
we
sense. This one's looking pretty good.
Heard of earlier and questioned
as we
about
don't
their
have a
ascent
trip
play.
here.
This is a good idea from them though, but patience from Nongshim.
Okay, not spotted right now either. You do have a Cypher, Jit Boys out towards C-Long.
Well, you did.
Indeed, he
Now
checked
it's
the
all down
camera
to
and
the
saw all
timing
3
when
on
you're gonna
minimap.
do the rotations eventually. And
Okay, with
Margaret's
that
kinda
as
just
well,
lurking
Envy
up.
can pick up the orb,
Past
and
tense,
Envy,
Margaret
sorry, Ivy
back,
even
might be
can
able to
get the
flank Talon as well.
plant as well.
It is a pistol after all. But
wonder if they're just gonna
currently
let him hunt.
Positionally, Nongshim able to run circles around Talon. Slight collat does tag up Cruz.
Yeah, I'd kind of be tucking in a little bit and letting
Possibly
the
looking for a
Sova
repeat
send
as
it.
well. Wow, he knows that Cruz is looking for the hop back up into him. So reloads, gets away with 3 kills.
And just at the end of this one as well here, Quack, this
Yeah.
is looking like a bit of a
Sova's
different
allowed to
start
hunt.
compared to the Team Secret game that we did have for Talon, right? Team Secret did pick up that pistol and then they answered back with the second round force.
Doesn't
up
matter
and
too
managed
much,
to
just
find
lost
it. So
Ghost.
for this time, at least in the beginning stages.
One
right,
away
it
from a
was
Sova
the
ult though,
changing
so
of sides.
definitely
Talon was
Talon,
on attack,
Nongshim
but
both
they're
going
not
to
gonna
be at
able
least speaking
to,
about the C
answer
or
back with a
pressure
bit of
for
a
next
cheeky
round.
round here.
Talon have some kind of punish, they
Four
might want
all
to do it.
alive at the end for Nongshim,
Nongshim
which means
could
this is what they will be carrying into the bonus
use the pressure of
round,
it to
and
go
Talon
hit
are gonna
another
look to
site, or
bring
they
up
could
some
do
weapons.
probably what most
Now look at
teams do
this.
is just
Ivy
like
in round
smoke
3, one
recon.
away from the
They have
Hunter's
so
Fury
many
already
drones
as
they could
well.
insta drone if they
That's
wanted
gonna
to.
be pretty cheeky if he's able to find that one, not gonna lie.
Like they could
Not
definitely use
have
the
too much of
Teo
an
drone
answer
to
on
scout
the side
C,
of Talon if that's able to find,
and then use
you
the
know, one
Sova
of
drone
bots,
for the ult.
albeit a kill. So you want to see some sort of ideas come out from Talon. I think more importantly for me,
Let's
I want
see.
to see some stability.
Yeah,
if
you
they're
see
getting
Talon,
some
everyone's like,
kills.
well,
I wanna see
they're
how
getting
they're
this
gonna be
orb right now.
fashioning, Primi and
So they go
Killua
3
around on
person
these double duelists
set up
as
to try
well.
and punish
Did
this.
mention a little bit before we started the game as well that Francis is now on the Teo.
Yeah, usually on the breach. Well, I say
Nongshim?
usually last time on the breach, but with the new changes that are all coming through.
Okay,
and
I
new
like this
style
from
Nongshim
Nongshim.
and just the
Using the
fact that
pressure
Teo
of
is in
them,
the
knowing
game.
that there's most likely a
It's
stack
not
over
bad
towards
idea to be
C,
playing for him, and
to just
Francis
bust
is,
over
I mean,
towards B.
pretty proficient
Prod
on
B.
the Teo.
Yeah, right now just Playing it safe around C, does have the stealth drone, and with it being shot down by Primi.
Okay, drone, and they go for the split C.
Time, though, the rest was Nongshim.
Wait, that Omen Flash is incredible. Wait, this is kind of nice.
Just a bit of a ruse.
It's like an old Vision Striker strat.
High now has to hold, but he's not quite able to do that.
They were very
Primi
patient with the Omen
just
Flash.
stuck and trapped inside this little cubby position while Jitboys tries to creep up around from the back. Primi able to gun down the first, and he's happy to take some duels, but Nongshim knows better than that to give him the 1v1s.
Well, I say insta-drone. You had drone towards long, you had drone into garage, you had two-person prod over towards B to check that it's clear, then you had wall up, Neon sends it, then you had in through garage, the Omen follows the drone, then you Omen Flash, and then we had smoke and spawn as well. A lovely strat. It's a great bonus strat.
The way that he's able to just slip the net a lot of the times, I think he's only going to improve in his little lurk rolls.
And it was very nice for them to not do anything too obvious and use the pressure to maybe realize that B in garage would be free as well.
Here, Quack, that's the bonus round going Nongshim's way.
Outlaw now being purchased up as well.
Maritz as well with the prime, thank you so much. Yeah, they had lurk, B, and smoke. Smoke, drone, prod, wall, Omen Flash.
Talon, whilst having some of the optimal agent compositions that they're looking for, kind of go off towards other portions of the map sometimes, not knowing how to pilot these compositions optimally.
A bit of a disconnection between what you would assume to be an agent.
Okay, Talon do the
strengths versus weaknesses.
I don't know who to
towards their strengths.
I don't know who to flame for this one.
We'll see if they've
let's flame Bacan.
kind of
He does the liquid save. I think Bacan stole it from Apex, like old Apex, where you have a good amount of money and you could buy like stingers or something. You decide to just full eco, and then that means that afterwards you get a buy. But
known to be
think when you don't
coaches, but currently right now just
use
the pistols,
I think people with stingers are like insane that I think you should just be
and they're going to see no one's home as well.
the bad guns,
that essentially is going to be destroyed, and
GE was the fast. Yeah, GE did it as well. Oh boy.
Doesn't really matter. Margaret's just going to delete them with the Outlaw. He'll farm up towards his own ultimate, and now it's anyone's guess as
Second Son, went absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I know it's just a pistol, but still, the fact that it was kind of glad to swallow two
shots. And this is my issue with it as well, because you're about to see like 1, 2, 3, kind of 4. They get full money, and then they also get super close to ults. Like they can choose who they want to actually get the ult points on.
Maybe they should have given him a sprayable gun for a close quarters duel. It doesn't matter. He still gets an ult port.
I will say every team that adopted the full eco into the eco rounds
so it's A-OK. This time, more importantly, though, we're going to see Talon back.
I don't think the numbers really
and hopefully able to
really support it well.
On their defensive side, we're seeing Nongshim already play with a little bit of the pivot timing, grouping up
4 people from Nongshim reach full money at 4-0. Primi's got his ult.
Side of things, if he's able to
Silver
get on the sewers line and gate crash out of there.
5v.
We'll see.
What the hell is this? Okay.
I like that smoke as well.
They salvo long, but at the same time they salvo the trip, and they do it deep because they know about the trip over towards B. That creates a little bit of pressure over towards B, and we can kind of see question mark now, which means that Cruz has to go check B, which means that Garage is now weaker.
On the Teo, Francis can lead with the drone and try and sniff something out for the team. They're not going to be able to find any garage space, of course, but they are going to be able to spot out 2 players there. So it gives you a bit of an idea as Nongshim on where you want to transition at the minute mark.
Yeah, taking some time to bait out Thai's paranoia as well. So
yeah,
that could alleviate some pressure. Nongshim then regroups back into C.
And salvos are online as well now for Francis, so they're going to be able to go and do one of their true, tried, tested C takes that you would expect them to be playing in their scrims.
That's right, explode back into the side. Salvo's already away. You've got fast lane as well. Cruz instantly recognizes this and tries to play into a more defensive position. But here comes that kill contract as well. Primi trying to create a little bit more of an advantage for his team, but falls to Danby.
Yep, and remember, Margaret is on the lurk up the guts of mid right now.
Still lurking. Meanwhile, remaining Talon players trying to regroup.
Yeah, might have to.
Using the position around Mirage.
They only have to save the op, I guess, because they did the eco thing.
Yeah, but Margaret is keeping Killua in check.
Yeah, that's why Killua's kind of backing off as well. Feeling like the call to a save, so Talon Trying to head back into a safer position, but not expecting Ivy to be around grass. Good little trade from Thai. Now, where has Margaret slipped to? Wondering
It's
about
over.
You hear some footsteps as well.
It's definitely not a great start.
To not peek.
Oh, I'll tell you what though.
Well,
He's slowly chipping away at the max money.
Still, nonetheless, a good little round for
definitely
Nongshim,
chipping away, but
ace picked up.
Still have
post-round by Thai.
4 people that have max money.
Really matter in the grand scheme of things.
And he's an omen
nah,
as well.
if anything, they just all kind of get their all-ups. Because they gave him so much money that even them all hunting and dying is actually more beneficial for Nongshim than it is Talon.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's had a little bit of a, I don't want to say fall off or anything like that, but a rougher series last time compared to
okay, so we've seen 2 buy rounds over towards C at the moment, so for sure Talon could be speaking about C.
We're going to have some coach intervention this time. In the 5-0 that Nongshim have, been playing pretty followable, to be honest. It's just good old-fashioned play with some rotates, some good layering of utility.
100%. That's just Nongshim playing their composition now, especially now that they have this Teho in play.
It's to get
more
distance.
Importantly, especially that we don't have a waylay in play.
Another great point, Komodo. This is why you are my co-caster. But at the same time, yeah, taking a look at how Talon, it's not as though we can really fault Talon for how they're trying to play around the macro game. They had positions in place, especially around Garage. They reacted in kind. They threw out that paranoia.
G lost the mental? Nah, I don't think so.
Just evaded all of that. So needing an extra layer to come into play to get some reads, good reads.
Why do you think so many seem to lose their map picks?
Trying to pilot this composition.
Sometimes it's just a skill diff, but also we're just at the point. It should be less and less. It should always happen at the beginning of the season, and then people work out people's map pool.
He's on the line.
But also a lot of the time, at the beginning of the season, you don't know where the other team stands on the map, so you might actually end up picking their best map. And also, if it's obvious what your map pick is, then they can kind of anti you and have a pretty good plan. So that's normally why you'll see a map pick for a team go wrong quite often.
Maybe Talon can play a little bit more on that if they're gifted it. Flash and jump peek. Meanwhile, you've got Margaret still.
You think it's over for Baybrex? I still have faith that they'll do right in stage 2.
And if you can get into C, it's good.
Is it over for them to go to Toronto? For sure, they don't. They're not good enough.
And I like the idea, right? It's 5 versus 3. You've got a dimensional drift if you do need.
At the same time, yeah, he's holding these positions, hoping to see if someone would push into his crosshairs so that he can find that punish, find that numbers advantage again. But Talon are playing it safe. And this is, once again, what you're seeing off of the coach timeouts, which is a very lovely sight. Talon now regrouping, all in full round spawn. So the 5 versus 3, do you send in Killer with the dimensional drift? You do. Cruz is being gifted at the operator.
Trying to make sure that they
let's see if he
keep
can get
this one.
Or if Talon can get this retake.
Very, very nice from Jit Boys.
Who takes him down first. And
dude, how did Francis do that? Ooh, that looked kind of nice from him.
Until Primi comes in with a triple of his own, and that's going to be the
okay, they're on the board. Armory by Gunry by
Talon.
Nicely done. Nicely done from them. They do not falter when the first kill and the second kill is found. There's a couple of
guys
that go around the seaside there.
What are you lot asking me?
Back onto what's going to be a successful win
go
condition,
practice.
Right? Play on the back of that dimensional drift. Sniff out all the information. Get your team to get the kills.
We got Mini Boo says love the haircut. Woot that says why are you watching all of the games? We got Boo that says why do you always we got Boo that says why did you always crumble on lands? I know that that's inspired by Weber or Nelzinho, I don't know which. Nelzinho goes, why are you so handsome and don't age? I'll take that one. There's a compliment after the Boo Flame. Dude, that's definitely Weber on Boo's PC. Oh my goodness.
And they leave it open. You're always going to have those,
and then
Rian's
Bombadino Crocker. What the hell is going on, guys? Go practice, dude. Get on the server or something.
Able to get Crash away as well. Finds the first pick, and with the slide, anticipated coming through. Additional support from Jit Boys, who places down a
Benji's asking we're going to watch Spotty
Fortnite.
Not even sure you're allowed
Meanwhile,
to.
Killua has already gotten away with daylight robbery.
That drone removes the trap wire that was in Garage.
Yeah, it's kind of nice from Talon, though. Little trap play. They actually managed to punish over towards C now, so they can't keep spamming C.
Try as they might, Nongshim, they have been shut off a lot of these entryways.
Yeah, and it's another 5 versus 3 situation, right?
Trying to at least
Rienz
Gets
was
the
the
smokes
best.
out, maybe to reposition and find a pick. But as Margaret continues to lurk, he gets spotted out
Dude,
by
they're just
Cruz.
all there together. Like, you guys ready? You got it typed out? Right,
Well.
3,
So Talon
2,
are playing
1.
towards the time.
Press enter.
In a situation like this, they don't necessarily need to take any risks and go deeper, though as I say that, Cruz starts to do so, finds the right kill. Does have Pretty behind him, don't forget.
And that's extra confidence as well for the captain of Talon. Unfortunately falls by Persia's hands. But thankfully you have teammates enough around the site as well. So 15 seconds left now for Nongshim. Continuing to push past. You got Primi inside of the smoke. He hears the tap. Looking for his opportunity. Springs. The trade found by Francis. Of course, the round already picked up by Talon, but can they get more kills? Thigh
Okay,
will
and
deliver.
though, and
Able to double down
they
on
survive
this
with a
one
good
now.
amount of people, so
Again,
now the money
another good
really
pass
is
mark
getting
for
good.
Talon. On the back of finding some
Ever
opening
since the
kills,
timeout,
then
they kind of
there's not
stabilized
really
a little bit.
any
They
big
managed to do a punish
exchanges
over
on,
towards
right?
C
You've got
as
the
well.
operator pushing down when you have
Might
the
be
camera
back.
to find the first little contact of info. Ambi tries to answer back in kind pretty swiftly, but is shut down as quick as he was trying to begin it. And it just leaves not enough for Nongshim at the tail end of that in the 3 versus 5 deficit to bring it back. So wouldn't be surprised if they want to try and get something a little bit quicker happening now that
Practicing
they've
the
got
timing of the
overdrive,
wall.
now they've got the Armageddon. You can see that the setup around C is a little bit
Okay,
more of the
smoke over
passive nature.
towards window. They got the op. They're in a great position now. They can clear over towards A, go pick up the ult for Primi.
This is a very
He gets
powerful
his
drone at the
ult.
moment to sniff out a lot
Okay,
of
I like this from
Francis, 'cause that
Nongshim.
essentially
Again,
plays
game plan for
everything
sure.
they're not there.
Abuse
They
over
don't even
towards
need to
C.
invest the Armageddon.
This time we got a
They're
trip to
taking
see if they
control
want to
of the
push
side.
close. And they can get a kill trip off of it,
Camera
off of
still
their
available too, by
smoke,
the way.
which is kind of nice.
Still staying hidden, tucked away.
And
Smoke
they have
dissipates
really good
and
retake ults.
Boys will get away.
Camera
Oh,
goes
yeah,
in,
yeah.
so they
The
know
kill
where to ult.
contract. Primi missed his mark the first time. Will he deliver this time?
Oh,
Shot.
sharp shot.
Instant flick.
Good luck there.
Still
for
though, Margaret instantly
Okay, well they
deletes
can go
Cruz.
fast over
No more
towards
hunters
site.
here
I
available.
think Nongshim have
There's
messed up a
Armageddon
little bit in
and
my
Salvos
opinion,
Francis.
just purely
You have
because
to
they're playing
remove
against
these.
smoke and play so
Needing
long.
to push further
Like
up
so many
in
people over
C
towards long.
Primi thinks
Like
to
as soon as
send
the
down
smoke comes out from
convergence
Ty and they
shield
stick.
just to provide his teammates with additional cover.
Ooh.
Ult's baited out, tapped onto the
Tail
spike.
ult's nice. Smoke
Looking
is still
to
up. They're still gonna
retap,
have to
and that's when
spam.
Francis spams away with the Guardian. Killua comes for the trades. More trades going through, but Margaret collects
Damn,
on
okay,
all of
fair
these
play.
heads,
They
and
actually
Nongshim
handled this
will
pretty
be able
well.
to pick up another
Tail
round for
ult.
their belt.
Yeah, at the end,
And then they
they're
got a
not sure
little
if
bit
anyone's
fortunate with the
actually
spam,
able
but
to be on the spike after it is tapped and they get the first
Don't-
kill.
I don't
you're never
love
gonna
the
know if
play,
they are body blocking
but they
or
did
not,
handle
so
it well. The
idea
tail
to
was
just
nice.
all be in the open and take those fights.
Talon
They've
looked
got
like they had an
numbers
okay
there,
plan
and
as well, but
thrown Talon a little bit of a spanner in the
right
works
shield
there.
into smoke.
Nicely done though from
It's just the fact that they went for the
Primi in
shield
the ult, at
play
least. I think you'll take that away,
once
that he's
they
gonna be winning those ones, hopefully
tail
more
ult. Well,
than last
tail ult
time.
came in once they shielded.
Fair enough.
But it's back, you know, to steady the ship on the side for Nongshim.
Yeah, it was somewhat of an expensive round having spent
tail's
Armageddon, but
insanely
still
strong.
you can feel its
It's one of the
effect.
best ults in
Next
the
round
game,
coming
I
up,
feel
though,
like.
once again, we have Killua with the
We said when it came out, it
this
was like
is
a
bit of
top
difficulty as
5.
well. Margaret had
I think I
caged
stick
the
with
previous
that.
round. This time they're going to dark cover
I think it looks like
for
a top
the
5 ult.
silent creep up. There was a
Especially on
camera, though,
certain
down
maps.
sewers, and
Like when you can't play vents
is at
on
the top
split,
of
it's
it.
a nightmare.
Because it's a
See that
dark cover,
when you
can
can't go,
possibly
well,
anticipate more
we
than
didn't see it
one
today, but when you
player.
can't go,
And Cruz will send in the Hunter's Fury
Damn,
to
bro.
check, does get away with
We
one
can't go
kill.
dish on attack
Killua
fracture
with
as
an
well.
offshot as well. The spike has been dropped around sewer, where Persia does find a bit of a trade. Killua trades right back.
okay, it's about time that we should start doing this.
He might have the spike, but
1-9
he's
loss
up
bonus
against
for everyone.
4.
And it's another situation where Talon find themselves for, albeit a moment, a small moment, a 3 versus 5 opening engagement going their way. So they haven't dropped these yet. I don't expect this one to really be any different. You play 1 versus 4, right? You just play on the back of where Francis gives you the information.
What's it going to be, Francis? Doesn't go for the tap. 40 seconds on the clock. You certainly don't want to head back too much because players could have set themselves up behind as well. So he goes in for the tap now. It's going to be met with the paranoia and shock darts, both of them.
And a drone.
Drone spotted out, tries to go in for a cheeky peek down in
Yeah,
towards
they're
Link,
handling
but
everything well.
shot down by Cruz.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no way that you're going to be able to win that.
Dude, why
right?
did
When you've got the
Talon,
dart
with this
available,
new
you've got the
team, always
offline
have
being
like
held from
relatively
spawn as
rough
well,
starts
paranoia
into
already
maps and
shot
then need
darts,
timeouts to like
kind of being thrown everything your
sort
way.
everything out?
Good start from them, as
It's
I
kinda
mentioned,
common.
for 3 versus 5. So these sort of opening engagements, right, you kind of want to reel in a little bit as Nongshim. It might give you a little bit more value if you're droning early on to clear some forward lines first. You know, if you're wanting to go to this A site, for example, again.
Okay, Dambi gets the hero Bucky out.
Push them off the line. If it's mid, you know, you're not necessarily going to want to all run out in towards what now is the operator holding the line for Killua.
Ooh.
All right.
Dude, look at this! Look at this read,
still,
though.
Given the fact that it is Nongshim on a bit of a half buy with the Sheriffs in play, they are being
this read is
very
crazy.
Quickly with the
Full pass and B. Full pass and B with an op facing.
The spot. Francis's head blown clean off, and now 3 players left to pick up the pieces.
So it's another 3 versus 5.
And it just shows Talon playing a cerebral game of reading how Nongshim wants to work their way across the map. Initially, you know, previous sites, this time a slight rush in towards B, and it's quickly dealt with.
I mean, in these
sort of situations, he was spamming? Is that what he was talking about?
Moment, right? It should just be 3 versus 5. We play retake if we need to. We've got the numbers. We're in another situation.
Don't know the lore. I have no idea about the lore on this. I'm fully lost.
100% the remainder of this round.
Cruz back into heaven. Great spot to send in more darts, possibly the recon to aid the retake as well. Still though, 3 players from Nongshim, not out of the question yet. Trying to peek through, but the
they take no risks on this.
Definitely forces them to disperse so darn much. Flashes and fake outs as well. Cruz with the op does find one, and then the entire squad marches into
that was
sight,
fast though. Fast reaction of that shot for the smoke.
Just kicking everyone's butt, and that's going to be Talon, slowly but surely climbing.
Okay, it was a slow buy, so I still feel like Nongshim can get a pretty good half, but Talon can somehow get like 5.
And that reveal comes out, and Margaret, you know, might even be on the
pretty
right
nice for
line
this comp.
Sheriff, not even a reload, you know, could have got a lot of damage, but we're not in that world.
So I like the ult. I'm so fine with this ult.
Talon starting to get this idea on the defensive side on how they want to.
They don't know fully about the other guns.
Seen good success so far this,
I think
this split from Talon
it's
when they're starting off on the defensive side and how they're.
I think when you need every single round, I think it's
been
good.
pretty abysmal for them. So at least here they're making it challenging and forcing out some timeouts, forcing out some discussions. 6-4, still not a bad scoreline when you consider for Nongshim. And
Talon comp is attack-sided, yeah. It normally gets like 7, 8.
Against Zeta,
sometimes more if you got a meteor.
Yeah, that's a while back.
I say once upon a time because, you know, albeit it's a while ago, it is 4 same agents.
The ISO on Heaven, the ISO on Haven, you just kind of forced into areas. Double damage for the default, similar to what Breach does. Like it weirdly fits a lot of, well, it used to fit more of the roles of the Breach when you had double, like 2 of the double damages, but it still kind of does the same thing. If you need to A default and punish them on A, you can. If you need to force into areas as well, like you actually have a little bit more options than the Breach.
Find a way to get a pinch
the ult is really, really strong, like incredibly strong, especially on a 3-site map.
So I'm a little bit surprised
so you
that
can kind of prioritize this on attack a lot.
A bit more in the early stages for them to try and find the.
It has good combo with Sova.
There's going to be a big round in terms of
especially like that's how you normally default over towards it.
And in this sort of time when there's 2 rounds left in the half, you know, dip in towards it, maybe find them.
Who's the best ISO? I think it's Meteor at the moment,
to deal with,
to be honest.
He is holding A long, but he is not. This time,
he's carried too many games.
2 drones really early on clears all of your pathing, ready to do a you know, big explosion in towards the site. Though, for Dambi, his signature of kind of sprinting on in and sliding down, those traps would shut that down. Plant established.
Yeah,
this looked like an incredible round, especially as Pajot manages to save his Omen Flash, gets under Heaven. This is a weird one for Talon. They probably have to like 4 retake from Heaven or something. Oh, they got the, wait, they got the Omen. He lost again.
It's Persia who takes him down instead, and here comes Dambi with the overdrive.
Dude, this idea on the retake wasn't too bad though. They know they didn't use that much util.
Any
space. ISO ult the Omen. They probably still had Omen smoke. Omen flash even.
Cruz now continuing to jiggle, but the burst again from Margaret. And with that, Nongshim able to collect the site and moves forward onto a 7.
Yeah,
we have seen this a little bit with this comp. It struggles with retakes for sure. Like it helps. You can do it when you have like one of these ults for sure, but you have to win the duel.
So the difference is where we're not seeing these
Premier at the moment is 1 out of 3 wins with his ult. 3 out of 3 at his shield.
They do have key numbers to be able to just focus on these duels, let Danby do what Danby does best and try and jiggle around the site, get all the shots. Everyone watches their lines. Nicely done.
If I may, though, Komodo, I'm also a little bit concerned. We've seen Primi whiff 2 of his kill contracts now.
Yes.
He's been a little bit quiet since.
Yeah, he's getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
Insta-drone.
I mean, there's always an adjustment period for a team when you
didn't want to go for the ult,
and you put him back onto a role that we're kind of expecting him to flourish in. There is, you know, a lot on his shoulders on this roster.
He does sound a lot more comfortable if you pay attention to the mic check videos that have been posted up. But still, right now at least, Nongshim looking to pull off an A-split push in towards the site. Talon reading a lot of the utility, have rotated on over, but can they hold is the question. Cruz currently able to spray them down. Now coming in with
nicely done from Talon on this one. I didn't
with a
really
Guys, we've learned from Munchkin
love
that
the
you cannot push that
insta-drone.
smoke on the
Like if you
any
tag,
team side
just take it, I
into
think.
players. You can't do it.
I think I would prefer it. I mean,
Certainly
Talon did very good
but still
to,
not a successful one,
like I saw
to
the
say the
Yoru
least.
TP
really
over
well done
early.
to be able to
Omen
lock
takes
down
the
that
gamble.
side as
That
well, right?
all of the
Great
info
players
covered
that
from
you've
the
got there
Cypher,
from
but
Talon. The focus is just shutting down the explosion attempt onto the site.
dude, they got 5. They actually did
Nongshim
really good on defense.
Possibly needing to find a different form from just exploding. Wow, that's a bit of a mouthful. But it is going to be that 7-5 first half. So not impossible for Nongshim to be able to close this onto the second.
Not at all, but this is where we put a little bit more importance on Talon trying to find these opening duels, especially that they are running the double duelist as well, right? How they're going to be playing with their own rotations, how they're going to be baiting out a lot of this trap and combo utility that we would expect Nongshim to have, you know, readily available.
The Talon rounds, yeah, they were clean.
Begins to fare off on the next pistol. Of course, though,
I feel like every round
now,
one was like pretty convincing.
It's going to shift some of the attention over to Nongshim and how they are able to read or receive some of these hits as well. Also would like to point out both teams in that current sort of developmental stage, as the desk, you know, adequately pointed out.
Yeah, and this group as well that they
The
see
pistol,
themselves
mate,
in
that was
as
the
well,
closest round.
right? It's
Evenly matched.
It's a bit more evenly matched as opposed to the other group that we've just seen, right? There's going to be no immediate qualification team like Boom that just got out unless T1 is able to just keep on going. But yeah, these guys, you know, sitting on the 1-1 mark.
But a step forward, yes, it's always going to be welcome, and certainly will, you know, give them a boost of confidence as they look to face, you know, upcoming opponents with the likes of Team Secret, possibly even Zeta for Talon.
Yep, and then for Talon, I mean, you've got T1 right
T1 right at the end.
So that one's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, for Nongshim, you've got Team Secret and Zeta next.
Speaking of T1, Nongshim just last week did put a bit of a dent in T1.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go to map 3.
We're such a close game.
There's been a dip in Premi's performance.
Possibly seeing more improvements.
I think since the new guys come in a little bit, yeah, but it's just a new, I mean, it's a new role for him as well.
A team that Nongshim themselves bested
kind
from
of
the very first week.
It's not what he's been playing consistently.
No overtimes, of course, when we consider an RRQ in the server.
I think when you have,
still at the 3-mapper.
when you change 2 players, it changes a lot.
Seems like a little bit of a extra.
You got to give Talon a little bit of time.
But I do believe we're getting in towards it now, so let us resume and see for Talon what their attacking side is going to look like.
Okay, Nongshim at the moment, 1-0 on the pistols.
Mentioned before, they have this Teho. How they're going to use it. I've already tried, you know, past couple times on the attacking side with the drones as well as the salvos to flush Talon out of position, but currently Talon trying to launch their own assault.
Attack
Slow creep up C.
Yeah, dart or drone needs to be pretty.
Dude, look at the read from Nongshim.
It's going to be the dart potentially. There's great paranoia. Look at that. That essentially stops the dry contact up.
And the triple stack as well.
Yeah,
not just a flash, but the fact that you have everyone ready to peek off of contact.
And Francis has just confirmed over at the A site with that drone that no one is an immediate threat to, right? So this does present the time in the round for Nongshim to have a couple of eyes around the map, see what info they can communicate towards the team, and what becomes weak.
Insane read, yeah, dude. What the hell's that about?
Useful with how you're able
There's
to
a
make
4-person
use of
stack
this
on
data,
C,
Already
right?
painting a picture of how the map is currently positioned by Talon. And that's why you have
so many teams have been hitting C a lot. It is like the most common game plan at the moment. I think in the last 3 days, every game plan I've watched on attack on Haven has just been C. Like C on the Byrons. B's on like against Eco is normally A against Eco. Sometimes B when it's all going wrong. When you've hit C too many times.
They've still got smokes available for die. That would off-put Francis.
And Francis also sitting on those salvos as well.
20 seconds. So you got the idea now with that smoke. You're going to play to try and stop the spike from going down. And that's what it does. 15 seconds. It'll be okay for Cruz to get the plant. And we'll go into a 5.
Ooh,
hang on a
that's
second.
nice.
Maybe not. They could flood now.
He
They're all here.
did salvo, and then he knows because he instantly tapped the spike again where he is. So he spams him through smoke.
Francis able to fire back.
Damn, what is that last kill as well? Double pistol.
That's 2 pistol rounds where Nongshim
Devastating for Talon.
This
was nice from Francis. Yeah, Molly, but again, the spike was just like instant, right? So we can only be here. I think he had to like jump around and do a safer plant.
Immediately flood on in when someone is still in a non-fightable situation when they're planting the spike, scurrying to get out of that one. You can see Jitboys didn't even get the spike, his gun back up, right? So that's how awkward and how great that one kill that Francis finds becomes.
And Dambi right on cue as well. That is just beautiful.
Oh boy, here we go. I think this does have to happen. Yeah, I think 9-5 is probably too many.
Risky,
maybe.
But a big
I don't know. Either way, this is the round. Cage goes in, you TP early, so the Yoru's here a lot earlier than you think.
As well for close range. At least the fake out going right past. Dambi trying to get a good read for it. The flash does come out though, and Dambi not quite able to receive as well. Killua in for the second kill. Cruz coming out with its own as well, but then the sprays just
we actually had a 10-person duel on here. Fast rotate from Nongshim. Oh boy, Talon are in trouble.
You see that wall go up down towards sewers. You didn't really have any other blocking of the visions, and you got the cross of the players communicated, right? So that is the immediate, we need assistance, get here now, essentially. And it's good to see that Ivy is just coming up with all those kills as well, right? Everybody on this Nongshim side are really getting engaged with at the moment, or having their little moments.
Okay, they go for stingers, but they can buy next.
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
It was the force buy.
Killua was gonna take a hit.
Well, this is very paper-rexy of Talon, isn't it?
We just witnessed it, but
this judge might.
Possibly.
Guys, you gotta let that ISO swing fast, surely.
All packed in where the stingers
Good trades,
will be able to find their mark. Still though, Francis reading those exits out of garage, he's able to spray them down.
You're gonna have a quick flank from Persia here, and I don't think that they're gonna.
It's not a false again. They can buy next. They saved a good amount.
Yeah, so Talon needing to kind of stay aware of what could be coming through. Now thinking to push further in, but yes, the drone out from Ivy instantly spots him out. Francis happy to receive and holds down the line. Ivy peeks out, finds the double.
Yeah, and who wants the defuse? Do they want Sova or do they want Teo?
You go in for the information on the back of it, but it incentivizes Talon to try and push you and get you when you've got that drone.
I think Teo's good as well. It's like the hard shutdown on C is very nice.
The contingency of Persia in the backlands going for the flank if the fights around that site go awry. So really nice adjustments in the rounds to come out from Nongshim. Again, very paper-esque of Talon to go for that force buy. We didn't see it work for paper-esque. We saw Alex get a little bit upset about that one this time as well. Is Frost going to be upset with the fact that that's another
Jinx the defuse as well.
Doesn't go the way, right? Because it's
I was asking a question.
You drop the next 2 rounds. You've got a timeout to come out from Talon here. If this next round doesn't go your way,
can't win a map if you lose both pistols and bonuses. Yeah.
This map. And remember, Talon
picked this
map.
They would have to
quick glimpse of the coach cams as
do an absolute madness here.
Frost. Hopefully a lot more calm and concise, but needing to be decisive.
I don't even think they played that bad here, Talon. This was just double pistol into
And this is going to be the important time as well for a team like Talon now that is going back in towards the native Thai language, right? It's going to be important for crews to translate everything that's coming through from the coaches and making sure that the team is on the same page.
Yeah, a lot of lessons to be learned here, especially with
the G2 buy
on the other side. I mean,
probably the most
currently,
successful
at least on the
with it,
second half, Nongshim just feel as though they are maintaining their distance, kind of luring Talon in towards some of these plays where they're just able to set themselves up.
Yep. So this is the, quite delayed bonus.
Is Waylay allowed in pro play? Yeah. We've seen a lot of Waylay.
These ultimates right
and
now,
it only looks good
it's
from
not the
G2,
worst
to be honest.
For Nongshim, right? So it's a pretty even duel, all things considered.
Very much so. And if they do pick this up, then I even see the game pretty much being hammered in and through. Cam instantly spotting out, so some of Talon's intentions already being told.
Ooh, they take the timing of it.
Into garage,
but dude, I'm still just looking at Nongshim.
I'm
still just looking at this 4-person hold over towards C and Garage. Like A is so weak right now, but
you do have Primi,
I think
and he really needs to
definitely
try
interesting.
here,
also,
definitely interesting when teams are trying to game plan spam over towards C.
This is Nongshim knowing
like them leaning 4 towards air is insane.
So
this info trip is giving them so much.
To watch out for where Talon might push.
Yeah, and you may
I also like this from Nongshim. Most people don't like camera through middle when they have this trip.
Right? So there is a lull of info right now that has faded away, and Nongshim fall back from the site.
They're coming in Thai, yeah.
Persia is on the side.
Bacon, the coaches don't know what they're talking. Coaches can't understand them.
Now that Margaret's here, though, they can fight.
Trying to refill that space where the drone kind of left off, but still the trade protocol is coming back through into it.
Bacon, go to Spike, go to YouTube, go to the Spike talk, and listen to Frost talk about the Talon game, like the first minute. It's so interesting. Because he's like, if I knew they were going to go in and play with this game plan, I would make them play double duelist. Like he didn't know what the game plan was.
Right now, 2 rounds essentially, and this
really
map
weird.
would be done.
On Talon's own map pick, you might, if you're Nongshim, you might even consider just buying
that was
an
my
outlaw,
question,
considering the fact that they're all probably going to be on light shields, but we will stay on the rifles.
A bit risky if you do go for the outlaw though, because Killua has the dimensional drift, right? Yeah. So you kind of need to respect this at the moment. You play off-site and you go in together. You've got an overdrive for Danby to throw in there. You've got the Armageddon for Francis, and on a map like Haven, that could be really impactful at A.
Give them that space, do your due diligence in working across the map. Where could some of the possible lurks be? Now they've spotted out Cruz. Simple trade being found. 4-on-4. Killua though.
Yeah, I think the
feel like you have to use the Armageddon here to help
I think
your
the
team get into the site.
You've got a lot of space.
Language barrier is definitely pretty rough.
Make sure to hold on to that space and try to.
I think Cruz is now doing a lot, like translation.
Armageddon being sent in by Francis, just to cause some havoc on the site. Dabby sliding in with the overdrive, and he's gonna be able to delete every player. A triple found in the
I'm not even that mad at Talon on this one. I didn't think they played that bad. I'm like more impressed with like Nongshim, to be honest.
Quick decision has been made from Nongshim as well when they recognize they
Talon wanting early to abuse over towards C. Pissed around, got 4 people here. Big buy rounds, 4 people here.
The overdrive, and together as a team flood the site.
And then when they want to go over towards A, they got to set up with the Cypher and push behind. Like they're just a step ahead every round.
Doing what they need to in that sort of position, and now they have put themselves on.
Nongshim have every read possible. Yeah, they're for sure a step ahead.
Every step of the way, every round, Talon tries to peek
into
a site.
Nongshim
are there. They're here, they're there, they're
the reads are kind of crazy.
And that's going to be just Talon now trying to hold back with their last-ditch effort, the last buy that they could possibly afford. If they're able to make this work, then 6 rounds to try to claw things back into overtime. A-Long already blocked off, though.
Yep. Droning out mid to clear some information.
Wish Neon didn't get enough. I think it's still in a good spot, though.
Yep, and Margaret. I mean, in this sort of situation for him as well, he knows that he needs information.
Like the classic thing happened where it was really like too strong. It got nerfed and everyone thought it like wasn't a thing until they start seeing people play it and they're like, oh.
Currently not seeing too much
maybe it is a
will
thing.
continue to peek around the A site, spots out 1, and here comes Primi with another kill contract.
4th time lucky.
Needing to hit the spot. Will be able to find his ground.
So close, bro.
Retaps onto the shield.
Ivy Hunter's Fury though.
Trying to set himself up for it. Team in position, 4-on-4 for Talon. Trying to get themselves away from the spike, possibly play post plant around C long, and that's when the hardest period comes out. So trying to call that the site is somewhat clear. Does find Killua as well. So more trades found now.
They
C long being smoked off.
Yeah, they go over
Premium
towards long.
needing to find the correct spams, but
Against
Nongshim's
an
got
Omen.
spams of their own. It's just Primi running out of bullets. Does
Okay,
find
this
a
one
tap,
was bad from
but
Talon
Dambi
though. As much as I was
finds
fine
the
with
map.
some of their other rounds, this one
Final
was on
score,
them.
13-5.
God, they got wrecked
Not what I
though.
expected at all. Did you expect this, Komodo?
I mean, I predicted Nongshim. I didn't think that this map is going to be that much.